Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've done a video, but with the announcement that I'm going to make tonight, I wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision and that I kind of knew an idea of what I'm going to do. My last video was the Wild Azalea Trail, and that was on day 1, and I never uploaded day 2. So first I need to explain why day 2 was never uploaded. The footage that I took on day 2 was somehow downloaded to Google Photos, and now I can't get them back in order to make the video. I've tried everything and I cannot get them to download back to my phone to be able to make the video. And day 2 is really not that important anyway. It was a pretty short day. And that's where I want to start this video, is explaining to you what happened that day. That day on the Wild Azalea Trail, I started off that morning pretty early and felt pretty good, but it didn't take long to where I was hurting pretty bad after about 2 miles. After about 3.5 miles, I knew that I was coming up on a road crossing, and my hips, my legs, my feet, they were all wore out. Number 1, my backpack was too heavy. Number 2, I was wearing brand new Ultra Zero Drop shoes, and for anyone who's ever wore those, you know there's a transition period of transitioning into a zero drop. They were killing my feet. So about 3.5 miles in, I walked up on this hill, and it was a pretty steep hill, and I was wore out. I was done. And I just bent over, dropped, and I just started praying, Lord, just have somebody at this road crossing that is safe and that would be willing to give me a ride back to my car, because I was completely done with hiking that day. I did not want to go any further. I did not want to look for a campsite. I knew by that point that there was no way I was going to finish the 25 miles, and I just wanted to get off the trail and get to my car and enjoy the rest of my vacation. So I stood up and looked at this hill, and right at the top of the hill was an SUV sitting there, and it was just slowly going back and forth as if it was looking for something or someone. And so I hurried and got to the top of that hill, and there was this very nice young man there who was more than willing to give me a ride back to my vehicle. We had a wonderful talk on the way back to my car. Just a pleasure to meet. I was so extremely thankful that he was right there. So I went ahead and went and enjoyed my vacation, and have taken a lot of time to decide exactly what I wanted to do. Now, for anyone who has seen my 30-second challenge, you know that I was sitting in bed one night watching the family hike the trail, and very clearly heard God tell me to go. And that's all I heard, was go. You automatically assume when you're talking about the Appalachian Trail that you're going to go and do a thru hike. And that was my first assumption. I never questioned that as to whether he could have been meaning anything else. I mean, it's the Appalachian Trail. That's what you do. You thru hike, or you section hike, or you day hike, or you hike in some form or fashion, and that's what you do when you go to the Appalachian Trail. Or at least that was my mindset at the time. I've now done about 5 days worth of shakedown hikes, and I've tried, you know, when you're hiking and you're hiking alone, you get lost in your head, in your thoughts, pretty much the whole time you're out there. And I've tried envisioning hiking the AT, what a through hike would look like in my mind. And I can start at Springer Mountain, and I can go to the top of Springer Mountain and back down to the parking lot. And then after that, my thoughts just go on to something else. And I can spend hours and hours hiking and thinking about this something else. But every time I start to think back to what it would be like to hike and through hike, my mind won't go there. I might spend a couple of minutes on it, and then my thoughts start going on to this. So because of that, I have started, questioning whether through hike is actually what I'm supposed to be doing, and whether or not my thoughts are going to something else because of fear. Am I afraid in some way of hiking the trail? Is it self-doubt? Any of those. And I can assure you that the decision that I'm going to tell you has absolutely nothing to do with fear. It has absolutely nothing to do with being afraid of failure or any of those negative thoughts that you can come up with. Before I went on this last shakedown hike, I found myself actually dreading it. I almost decided the morning of that hike not to even go. I really wanted to change my mind. And it wasn't because I was afraid to go out there and hike or afraid to go alone or any of those reasons. I was just dreading it. It didn't seem like it was fun anymore, I guess. Not even fun. That's not even a good way to put it, because I do enjoy hiking. So I just want to assure you that I'm not making another decision. I'm not making this decision out of any kind of fear of failure or thinking that I'm not gonna, that I can't be successful in a through hike or anything like that. I'm strictly making this decision based on the fact that I want to do what God is sending me out there to do. Not something that I want to do or that I feel like He wants me to do, but something that truly is what He's calling me to do. So, that being said, I will not be doing a through hike. What I will be doing is going out to the Appalachian Trail the weekend of the through hike kickoff, March 7th and 8th and 9th. There's somewhere in there. I will be at Amicalola Falls that weekend. And what I plan on doing is following the hikers from Georgia all the way up to Maine. I have a minivan that I am preparing for the trip. I will be at the trailheads to give them rides to town to resupply their food, get them off trail in bad weather. I really don't know exactly what this is going to look like. I will just be out there to support the hikers and support the bubble as it moves north. I'll be just as surprised as anybody else as to where this goes from here, because there's no videos that I can watch to give you an idea of what this channel is going to look like, or where it's going to go from here. Now, I've tried doing some research on YouTube. There's Fresh Ground. He feeds the hikers, but he doesn't vlog. I've watched every interview with him that I can. There's Jimmy and I Believe, and they go out and interview hikers. So I really don't have a whole lot to go on as to exactly what I'm going to be able to do when I get out there. At this point, I do know that I'm fixing up my minivan, preparing it. I'll be able to carry probably about 6 hikers at a time in my van. And I just added solar to it this weekend. So I'll have, be able to have a place where hikers can recharge their devices, recharge their phone, whatever they need to do. I'll be sleeping in my van the majority of the time. I'll be able to fix it into like a small little camper at night, and then still be able to set up seats during the day. And I'll do a video on my minivan as soon as I finish getting it completely set up. If y'all have any ideas on what hikers might need out there, other than giving them my phone number and trying to be available to them, I just basically want to be the man that was in the white SUV that helped me. And that's all I know at this point, is just to be wherever God needs me to be to help whoever needs my help at the time, whatever that might look like, and just be there. Anyone that knows me personally in my personal life and what God has brought me through and where I feel like God has taken me to, through hiking just doesn't fit in that puzzle very well. I'm not a superhero. Never wanted to be a superhero. It's just not my personality to be a thru hiker or to do something just completely extraordinary like that. I've always been a servant. I enjoy serving people. I get my happiness, my fulfillment. It just brings me joy to help other people, whether it's my children, my grandchildren, taking care of the elderly. I've worked in pharmacies with sick people. I've worked in hospitals with sick people. I've worked in nursing homes with elderly. I've always done things that serve someone else. And I think this opportunity that I'm being given is going to be the most extraordinary adventure that I can imagine. So my whole attitude has gone from dreading March getting here to actually being super excited, and I can't wait for March to get here. I would be willing to leave tomorrow if if tomorrow was March. So I hope that y'all will stay with me on the channel. I hope that the subscribers are here who were here to watch a through hike will stay with me. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot of through hikers as they need rides to town, or be able to do some interviews with some of them. And we'll just see where this goes. So, in case I don't see y'all or do another video between now and the end of the year, I want to wish y'all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if nothing else, I will see you right after the first of the year. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following my channel. Bye.